The first measure of variability is what you call the range. The range is so simple. It's simply the highest value minus the lowest value. So the highest value minusan na sa lowest value. Okay? Now let's have our example. In letter A, school A, this one, what is the highest value? 105. What is the lowest value? Oh, you subtract 105 and 77. How much is that? $28. Okay, let's go to school B. School B, what is the highest value there? 238. What about the lowest value? $106. Now, what is 138 minus 106? 132. Okay, let's have the last one. School C. What is the range here? What is the highest value? $98 minus 98. That's simply 0. Okay. So, asa man nga school nga ang ilang hourly rate, pari-parihas silang tanan. Kanang 0. School C, tanawa ang school C, 98 tanan. So, meaning, ang range niya 0, nagpasabot na nga, okay, ang ilang hourly rate is gatapok ra pares-parihas silang tanan. But when I say, look at school B, 132, it's very, very big. So, meaning, dako kaayong diferensya sa hourly rate sa mga teachers dito. Kay ang usa na ay 238, ang usa na ay 106 lang. So that's what you call the range. Okay? Now, the mean deviation. The mean deviation is simply the deviation, the average deviation from the arithmetic mean. Okay? It gives equal weight to the deviation of every observation. This will be our formula. The mean deviation is simply equal to the summation. So the mean deviation is equal to the summation of, this is a sample, this is a score, minus, this is the mean, all over, and there is the total number of observations. Okay, let's now have our first example. Let me minimize this first. Ato ning i-minimize. Okay, there you go. Look at school A. School A, what are the scores in school A? I mean the rates. School A has okay, now to solve the mean deviation, you need to make a table here. So if I'm going to be creating a table, let's just make this fast for a while. Let's have this one. Okay, there you go. Let's have a table. What happened here? Why is this not drawing? Di siya mo function. Okay, let's just use my PowerPoint presentation. I prepared something here. Okay, there you go. So take note, if I'm going to be using a table, we have here, this will be the X value over here. Let's use a black pen. Is red clear? Is the color red clear? Klaro ra ang red or dili? Klaro siya. Okay. So we will be putting the scores here. Now, as much as possible, yes, is the red color red clear? So as much as possible, this is, again, we are looking for school A first. Okay? We are referring to school A first. Now, we will be having, these are the X values. Arrange them in increasing order. So 77, we have 84, we have 91, we have 98, and we have 105. The first thing that you're gonna do is simply you solve the mean. Now, you already know how to solve the mean. Diba? You simply add all these values. You have 77 plus 84 plus 91 plus 98 plus 105 divided by 5. How much is that, Section Galileo? The result is 91. Were you able to get 91? All of you, please check, please. If ever all of you got 91, please confirm. Okay, so meaning our mean deviation, not the mean deviation. The mean is simply 91. So what you're going to do next is simply this. The second column is simply the score minus the mean. Okay? So we have here 77 minus 91. 84 minus 91. 91 minus 91, 98 minus 91, 105 minus 91. Okay, what is 77 minus 91? Negative 14. Let's write that down. Okay, what about 84 minus 91? Negative how much? Okay, there you go. That's negative 7. The next one is 0. What about 98 minus 91? 7. What about 105 minus 91? 14. Okay, that's correct. Next is simply you get the absolute value of the difference between the score and the mean. So meaning, kini sila, akong kuhag absolute value. And when you get the absolute value of any number, it is always positive. So what's the absolute value of negative 14? 14. What about negative 7? You make it positive. It becomes positive 7. 0, it's still 0. 7, it's still 7. 14, it's still 14. And take note, the formula for our mean deviation is simply the summation of the absolute value of the difference between the score and the mean divided by n. Now, how much is the sum of all these numbers? So we will be getting here the sum. We have the summation of the absolute value of these values here. How much is 14 plus 7 plus 0 plus 7 plus 14? Okay, there you go. We have this is equal to 42. Therefore, this one here is 42. What is n equal to? 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 set of scores there. Now, what is 42 divided by 5? 8. This is now our mean deviation. 8.4. Is our first example clear? Okay, let me edit this first, ha? Keep let's edit this. Ato ni isa kagamay ha. Para na ako'y space there is ubos. I want to write something down. Okay, let's proceed to our second one. Okay, let's have school B. Let's have school B. So we have x. What are the values of x? Okay, there you have it. And we have, let's compute the mean first. Okay, let's compute the mean. Kindly add all these numbers. 106 plus 140 plus 175 plus 196 plus 238 divided by 5. Pilay sum aning 106 plus 140 plus 175 plus 196, plus 238, the sum divided by 5. 171. So that is our mean. So let's solve this now. This is 106 minus 171 is how much? Negative 65. What about 140 minus 171? Negative 31. What about 175 minus 171? 4. What about 196 minus 171? 25. What about 238 minus 171? 67. Now, let's get the absolute value of the difference now. So what are you going to write here? 65 for negative 65. What about negative 31? Absolute value is 31. Next is 4. Good. Next is 25. Next 67. And now let's get the summation. The summation of the absolute value of the difference of the scores and the mean. So you add all these numbers. How much is the sum? 109. All of you got 192. Okay, let's compute the mean deviation now. So the mean deviation is simply, it's the summation of the absolute value of the score minus the mean over n. So you have 192 divided by 5. How much is that? 38.4. So look at our first example. The first example, what's the mean deviation? 8.4. The second example, how much is the mean deviation? 38.4. Now, if you will just look at the scores here, what do you think is the mean deviation? 0. All of you will tell 0. Oh, let's verify whether it's 0. Okay? Si Sir, baka klaro na kayo na 0. Atong i-verify. Nga naman ang mathematics. Even though it's very obvious that 0, we need to prove that. So we have x here, 98, 98, 98, 98, 98. So the mean is simply 98 gihapon, right? Then you have x minus the mean. This is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. The absolute value, that's still 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. the summation of the absolute value, that is still 0. So, meaning, the mean deviation is equal to 0 divided by 5, which is equal to 0. Okay? Are there any questions regarding our discussion this afternoon? Dili kung magdali-dali ha. We will take things one at a time. Anyway, next week we will be having the standard deviation. For this week lang, we will have the mean deviation first. Okay? So let's go back first to our, here. This is our, so we have here the computation. These are found in your notes already. I have this already. I have given this already to you, right? Okay, so we will end here. So look at this. So based on the computed mean deviations for schools A, B, and C, it can be concluded that B has greater variability as compared to A, while C has no variability as compared to C, while C has no variability from the mean. Okay? Now, let's have this example. Look at this one. We have here, you and your friends have just measured the heights of your cats in millimeters. So we have here, cat 1, that's 280. Cat 2, that's 250. Cat 3, that's 200. Cat 4, that's 150 millimeters. Let's compute their average deviation. When I say absolute deviation, it's the same as average deviation, okay? So, take note of this. We have here 280 plus 250 plus 200 is 150 divided by 4. The mean here, so this is our mean, is 210. So take note, these are our x. Diba? We have 280. This is 280 ang x. Then we have 250. Then we have 200. And we have 150. And kini siya, 280 minus this is 60. 250 minus 220, that's 30. 200 minus 220, negative 20. 150 minus 220, that's negative 70. Then you get its absolute value. That's why all these values becomes rather positive. And you add all them, that is now the summation. So to get the mean deviation, that's so simple. 180 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 45. So meaning, on an average, the cat's height are 45 millimeters from the mean.